What's going to be the Comic of Sunday today? Before we get started in anything about this, I know I started this live like 3 times. I wanted to like do it a specific way so that I can show up on YouTube Shorts so people can actually see. So before we get into anything, I just want to let you know I'm doing a little better now, but I'm still staying home from school because I'm still coughing like crazy, and my bowels are acting up again. So that's another big no-no. Um, yeah. Days have been tiring and a little worrying because of this government shutdown, which we're going to get into now. So, on October 1st, beginning of this month, is when the government shut down. Alright, it's going to get kind of boring if no one's watching, but, let me make sure. Yeah, all messages, that's fine. It's not important. Alright, So pretty much at this rate right now, it's again those usual situations where Republicans point the finger at Democrats, and Democrats point the finger at Republicans. Yeah, see, that is pretty much the case, but one finger is in fact right. And yes, if you look at the description, I think you know which one I'm talking about. So I'm not even going to answer the question. I'm just going to explain further. So first off, I've been watching this live now from Fox. This almost 42 minute video on Mike Johnson. That's his name, right? Yeah, Mike Johnson. I thought his name. I thought he had a different name. Oh my god, yeah. Sometimes, dude, I can't even like remember half of the basic information. My goodness. So, what's happened with this Democrat? So, why is the shutdown happening? Well, people are going to try to find some logic to blame on Trump. Okay, it's Trump's fault that. Hold on. Oh shit! What was the excuse I heard? It's Trump's fault because he didn't want to give people Medicare or anything. That's not what he was doing. What he was doing is he was passing a bill to modify the benefits, the like the EBT and the whatever that food. What's that federal the national? I forget what it's called. Both of my parents run off of that. What he was doing is he was modifying that. Why? Because while there are people that actually need it, low income families, there's a total of 42 million in American citizens on that. There's about 42 million American citizens on those benefits, okay? Probably about fucking 10% of that, 10, 15, maybe 20% of that are people who are just lazy and don't want to do shit and just want the government to back them. And then you've got illegal aliens who also live off of that shit too. And this is why the Trump administration wanted to put that down. Not the whole benefits in general, but he wanted to. Yeah, see, I'm sick. I know. So, told you guys I was sick. Well, is this just gonna be me coughing the whole damn stream? Okay. Okay, I honestly lost my train of thought. I know it's about to shut down. So, Trump's moderation to the snap. I forget what it stands for. Snap and EBT and all that, all those benefits. So, his benefit what he wanted to do was modify it to where pretty much what this modification was, what they were gonna do with it is pretty much in simple terms they were gonna crack down on people who don't want to, who don't just simply don't want to work and are making excuses, and then the illegal aliens who shouldn't even be here, the undocumented immigrants, they shouldn't be getting any of this, and I think that's fair, and I think the Trump administration did the right thing there. Here's the problem: the Democrats are pissed about that now, and in response to this, they advocated for the shutdown, and they made the shutdown happen. Okay, and ever since then, they have not voted. Not one Democrat has voted for the shutdown to stop. All fucking 57 Republicans have voted for it to stop. For it to stop. Or 53. Did I say 57 or 53? I think I said 50. I think I said 53. So they need 7 more Democrats to vote, and not a single one has voted. Not even Fetterman. And that's because they want their way, and they just admitted it too. Chuck, fucking Schumer, whatever the fuck his name is he from New York? He admitted it that when the American people suffer, we use that as leverage. Leverage. It helps us. That's a good thing. For us. And by us, I mean the Democrat Party. The Democrats. And that's fucking crazy. Not surprising, but crazy. So, I'm just gonna repeat this all again because I'm getting lost so much because I keep fucking coughing. So the Trump administration was gonna be cracking down, was setting shit in like these benefits, the SNAP benefits, Medicare, all that, so that fucking people that aren't even supposed to be in our country, undocumented immigrants, and those who are just lazy and stupid and don't want to work, the people in the hood, the people that literally just want to sit in their mom's basement until they're not even that, they live in their mom's basement the rest of their damn life. Like, see, those people shouldn't get it because they don't want to make an attempt to do shit, and they want to just live off of people. And see, this is where, that's where Trump wanted to shut that down. Not the whole thing, because it's not fair to low-income families, and he's not trying to punish everybody. Who's really being punished is, yes, the American citizens, but who's the one that's doing the punishing? It's really the Democrat Party. Because they're the ones that made the shutdown happen. They're the ones that keep voting for it and advocating for it. Not a single one has voted yes. Yes, to shut this shutdown down. Okay, that was a terrible way to word that sentence. Yeah, I don't think that's important. I think you know what I mean. They're the ones that keep advocating for the shutdown, and they don't want to shut it down. Right now, there's the second largest shutdown forever. A lot of federal workers that still have to work are getting their first paycheck. 2/3 of the FBI have to work without any pay. A lot of the military has to work without any pay. So I know some federal workers, they don't have to work. Like, apparently, a lot of the IRS agents don't have to work. I know some agencies still have to work because, like, law enforcement, they have to work. But yeah, I think Department of Transportation still has to be running too. I know air traffic control, they have to be there too, obviously, and they're not getting paid because everybody's thing was it. That's how the shutdown works. I'm losing my train of thought like that, like crazy. Well, I wouldn't be the best debater, but I'm out here debating because I want to speak the truth on my part. Because, this is the truth. Democrats are the cause of all this, and I just explained it like about twice. They want to give the free benefits to the people who don't need it instead of the people that do need it, like me and my parents. So now that I think about it, does that mean my meals are going to be free or not? The meals I get at school, whatever. I'll worry about that when that happens. I haven't even been back to school because, like I said, I've been sick. Um, the where are we at? So the reason why the SNAP benefits shit are going to be shutting down is because the well went dry, and I don't know what I heard. I've heard this story like too much, and I don't know, and I have not seen any evidence to prove this. Alleged add a Q&A sticker. Oh, okay. I thought somebody commented. Nobody's really even fucking here. Why am I even talking? This isn't on YouTube Shorts, is it? This is not on YouTube Shorts, is it? I'm gonna investigate that. I'm gonna investigate that. No, no, we very much well all on YouTube Shorts. Okay, so what was I saying? So they claim that it's Trump's fault the well went dry because we gave all the money to Argentina. I don't know where that story came from. I've heard it a few times. I don't know where that came from. I've not seen any evidence of that. And even if Trump did, was that before or after? And also, is are you sure the money came from that and not something else? Are you sure? There is another thing I do think is a little crazy too, and I'm not gonna blame Trump. Now, I'm not gonna say shit on Trump on this because I know he does the right thing. So by the Constitution, the government still, and this is why some people in the agencies and shit get paid because they're like way up there in the government, and the Senate gets paid, the Congress gets paid, the president, vice president, they all get paid, even when the government's shut down. Why is that? Well, the Constitution requires it for one. But the main reason why pretty much the main reason was because the leaders up top, they need to get paid to control everything, pretty much. And I don't mean that in like a dictator way. I mean like to like control the like to control everything else. If case like if there's riots and shit, they're gonna want to be there for that. And I do think it's a little silly, and the least they could do is donate it to charity or donate it to the people who aren't getting paid. But Trump does do that, so I know Trump is doing it. He's never accepted one salary, minus again, he had to take a dollar. He has to take a dollar. He does have to take a $1 every time he does get a salary because again, by constitutional law, he has to get paid. He has to get paid. The government has to get paid, and it's in the Constitution. Taxes. Why are people still getting taxed when half of the IRS, if not more, is out? Well, see, taxes don't... Because taxes go to a lot of stuff. Minus the bullshit shit and the stuff that is not going to really matter because it's going to be gone anyways, like the SNAP benefits and shit. For one, taxes pay for, well, yeah, the government's paycheck, which is a little dumb, but where else are they going to get the money from? You can't print money. You could, but that's not how capitalism works. You also can't... The taxes go to, like, other things. It goes to the military. Even though a lot of military is not getting paid, the equipment that they use and the stuff that they get, the food and everything for them, that the military funding, that is still very much paid by taxpayers. And if you see, I'm pretty sure state taxes and local taxes still get paid. So, even when the federal government shut down, so I don't think that's going to matter too much. So much what I'm going to do right now, so I'm just going to continue watching what I was watching. Nasty. I am. So I'm almost certain that this shutdown's going to continue the next month, which means Snap's going to be gone and all that for the moment. But which I kind of don't understand that part. Like if the government's going to shut down, but you still got to pay taxes, the bigger question is why aren't the taxes going to the that stuff? It's probably, but I don't know that for sure, but I'm gonna assume it's because it's funded by something else. I think another thing I want to talk about too. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. What even is that? Oh, this guy was literally.
That'll start working in a second. They go. MAGA supporters drain the swamp. Turns out the swamp just ran for office and won. Good point. That's a very good point. They did do that. He did do that. Look, the phones are open. The phones are open. I mean, ask Misfit about the phones. What do you think about the phone system, Misfit?
Sage outcast. You can get fucked. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah.
I think you're in some place.
I don't know. It was the live stream I ended up coming across and ended up in my watch history. So another thing that everybody was talking about was how food and shelter and all that stuff is a human right. Well, I don't disagree, but here's the problem: when you say that you should just be given food for free, food, water, clothing, shelter, medical care, all that. See, it sounds good, right? But see, here's the problem: you don't get to you can't expect to just live in a house, live in like the house of your choice, and get fucking five call, oh, yeah, with five like, let me move a word there. Like you can't expect to have a big ass mansion made out of diamonds with five calls of your choice and a maid, a chef, gardener, who the fuck, and the man or woman of your dreams, all provided by the government. That's like that's like some stupid fantasy My Little Pony shit right there. Like that's just not how capitalism works. That's communism. Except the difference with communism is that you're not gonna get you're not gonna get a diamond mansion with fucking Lamborghinis and fucking Mustangs and Cobras, whatever the fuck you all, whatever. Yeah, it's not what you want. You're gonna get what you get, and what the government can provide you, no matter who you are, pretty much. Even if you're a doctor, you're gonna make the same amount as uh, teachers, cops, doctors, firefighters, manufacturers, construction workers, plumbers, electricians. You'll only have to get the same paycheck, and your paycheck is pretty much just, yeah, your paycheck will be nothing but what you get, which your house would pretty much just be fucking. Your payment would, yeah, your payment's gonna be much your basic living, but your basic living is shit. Your house will pretty much be, yeah, the house. If I was, this house would be a lot worse. Definitely, I definitely would not be on no second story. I wouldn't have a PlayStation 5 or a TV or this phone to be live streaming on. That fucking high tech fan, I probably wouldn't even have a fan. We probably wouldn't have AC or heat. We wouldn't have fucking, yeah, we wouldn't have shit. The food we get, the fucking dumb motherfucking mayor in New York, that fucking terroristic motherfucker who apparently Jews support him when he's fucking anti-Semitic. Uh, I beg to fucking differ. That's even true. He said that. Rose said that he wanted to make the community the all the grocery stores communal, which means that you pretty much get grocery food for free. Each person gets food for free. Does it sound great? It sure does. Here's the problem. That's never worked. It's never worked. That's communism. That's never worked. A big reason why communism never worked is because of socialism, but that's a different topic. The problem with communism is that with communal with communal grocery stores, I probably would not make a good president. I can't stop stuttering or shit. I'm not a great debater. Well, at least I know what I'm fucking talking about. Alright, I'm fucking staying on topic. These communal grocery stores have not been successful because what's gonna happen is everybody's pretty much gonna be get a piece of bread and a bowl of fucking soup. Shitty soup. Shitty walk. May as well be fucking Chinese food. Fucking rice and fucking dog. That's what they'll give you. It's gonna be fucking shitty food that's malnutritional and fucking shit. And the water's gonna be like fucking water from contaminated water right out of fucking Africa. Because everything's just gonna end up fucking broken pool. And here's the thing: you think you have it fair because your neighbors have it just as fair, and then your friends from another state or on the other side of the state, upstate, across the country have it the same way because everybody has it the same way, but not everybody because the government still has it the same way too. No, what the fuck? No. The government doesn't have it the same way. Why the fuck did I? No, fuck. I keep saying I speak too fast and then I fucking say like the complete opposite of what I was trying to say. So the government does not get it the same way as what the civilians would at all. The government gets to do whatever the fuck they want, spend whatever money they got. Well, they don't even need the fucking money. They just demand whoever the fuck they want to do it, and pretty much that's the thing. You might not get shit, but you still gotta work your ass off. You still get that, which is slavery. And if you don't, well, they kill your ass. Now, I also heard some people compare like how we live as slavery, which kind of fair, but like you haven't understand actual slavery. I haven't, obviously, but like, have you ever sat in 120-degree weather picking cotton while your master was whipping you and your wife or whoever was getting raped and your children were being burnt in an incinerator because they don't know what to do? Have you ever seen it like that? Yeah, that's true fucking slavery right there. You're pretty much forced to do nothing but just work your ass off for nothing. Okay? Like Abraham Lincoln was doing it too, and he did not like slavery at all. That's why he abolished it. That's great, but he technically had slaves too, but they weren't slaves. I don't think it's not slavery if they're getting paid. Their payment was they got all the benefits they needed. Like they got housing, they got food, they got water, they got medical care. Oh, damn it! I keep dropping that. They got all of it. Okay. Now I completely. They got to go outside and play, and then they didn't have. That's the other thing too. Slavery, you have to work. You have to be there, and you have to do this and that, or else you die. That's pretty much what it is. Is there's no expectation right now, nor was it during Abraham's time where you absolutely had to fucking enslave, be enslaved to aid somebody else. Nothing is forcing you to do that. Will you end up homeless? I mean, you could, but nothing's saying you could get a fucking better job. You could still get a job and make money. Yes, that's kind of the other thing too. There are a lot of there are jobs that underpay like crazy, and people get turned down all the time because they. Well, that's another topic though. Well, I'm gonna talk about it. People don't get jobs mostly because they are Trump supporters, because they have common sense, they're hardworking, and no bullshit. Again, just like the what the Democrats want to get, who the Democrats want to give the free health care and the free all of that to, SNAP benefits and all of it. They also want to give jobs to only those people. My dad can't get a job because these guys, well, guys are assuming he's pretty much make the excuse of he's a Nazi and they don't hire him. Over something that's clearly just fucking bullshit. But they'll hire literally some guy that probably killed 3 people where he came from, then killed 3 more people when he came here, and then just let him in. And this guy literally will get on a forklift, run into shit, run somebody over, steal shit, and then it's like, and that they're not picking their best. They're having, and again, Trump called it years ago before his first term even started. China has our jobs. Mexico has our jobs. All of Latin America has our jobs. Even motherfuckers, even people from Europe. Because Europe isn't fucking so fucking great anymore either. Because half of Europe, if not more, is controlled by left wing morons who aid communists and terrorists and the drug lords and all the other evil morons that are fucking evil. Like, literally, which is why they always looked on as so better, because there's so many less shootings, which is not really true, because like Sweden has like 15 a month, which is not too really to be excited about. The fucking France probably has like 15 as well. Like, it's not by like a large bargain at all. Like, literally, and what doesn't help is that the police really don't carry guns unless it gets to the point where a guy, and that pretty much gets to the point of an active shooter event. That's pretty much them when they start pulling out their guns. But see, the problem with Europe is that they're making excuses because they're saying it's the right's fault for this like economic issue, but it's their fault because they want to spend it on their dumb shit and aid the evil people, the people that are gonna screw us over and make and kill us with whoever guns, drugs, and make us slaves. That's exactly what they're gonna do. What do you think China's doing? Why are we putting tariffs on like pretty much most of the world right now? Well, because there are a few reasons why. There's quite a few reasons why, but here's one of them. And let's start with China. China is literally ripping us off like crazy. You buy an iPhone with the fucking charger and AirPods and shit for $2,000. You come home okay with it. Fucking a month later, the AirPods are already fucking broken, and your fucking phone's already having battery issues. My phone, my Pixel 7, I've had since 8th grade. I mean, about 4 years is decent. Well, even then, like some of these other phones I've had lasting longer. Like my Google Pixel 4, I've had since 2019. It still work. It has battery issues. It's probably even worse than this phone, and it does have a little bit of like external damage to it, but it's still working. And there's like a lot of other factors too. You can't like just replace the new battery. Yeah, if anything gets fucked up on this phone, they want you to buy a new one, and that's what they want you to do. They want you to buy a new one because then you pay full price for it, and all that money ends up going to the left wing companies, and it all which ends up going to the government. Left gets a hold of it, it goes right to the evil Knievel fucking parties, such as the terrorist groups or the Chinese Communist Party. And Europe gets away with it all the time. The EU, like, we're literally making deals with a country that got rich by ripping off capitalism and being able to enslave fucking half a fucking billion of their own people. Billion, not million. They say there's only 5.8 million people in forced labor. That is a load of shit. That is a load of barnacles right there. There is no way there's only 5.8 million in a communist country that has fucking over 1 billion people and only fucking. What is that? What is that like? Is that even 5%? Is that even 1%? Now, hold up. I'm gonna calculate that. Then I'm gonna calculate this. Let's say 1 point. I don't know what the population. I'm gonna go 1.3. 1, 3. All right. Percent of. Okay, I'm gonna struggle how to calculate this. Yeah, that's not even like 1%. That's like not even 0.5%. Yes, about 0. Why is it inverted? God damn it. 0.45%. That there's no way. There's absolutely no. That country is massive. Matter of fact, let's confirm that because they have a lot of slaves within like the eastern regions because those are minorities. China. Hold on. Am I stupid and mixed up East with what I did? I did. I'm so fucking dumb. That's a little interesting. You ever notice that the East is actually very populated? Hold on. West China. China. And 6% of what? What? So the full population live right now is 1,415,000,000. All right, and it's been slightly decreasing because of the law there. By can we do by like region? Shanghai has more population than Beijing. Can I do like a regional? Can I get it in English? Let's see. So I don't know how to pronounce that name, but what is Yoguristan? Has 2.5, almost 2. No, 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 no. What the fuck? Almost has 26 million people in that region. Tibet only has 3.6 million. But they have slaves throughout all that fucking. Because they're minorities. They're not. Those people are not Chinese, so they fucking enslave them like it's crazy. So with the slavery count being 5.8 million, that is a load of baloney by fall. And it's not just those guys; it's pretty much anybody they don't like, anybody that goes against the government in any way, anybody that pretty much they can do whatever the fuck they want. They can find somebody in Inner Mongol. That's another one. They're not a huge fan of the Mongolians. I'm gonna look at this one. In China. Modern slavery. Alright, look at this. What's red here? See all that red? That's West China. Fuck. Yeah. West China. Did and they got cotton and silicone there. Would you look at that? And that one region down south, they make a lot of tea and tobacco, so that's kind of an issue. Pretty much everywhere else is high. Everywhere else in China is high risk. Oh my god, India was way worse. 2015, India was way worse. Fucking 18. Well, again, that's not probably legit because there's no way China only had 3.40 million in 15. That's a load of baloney. This ain't gonna give me the right answers. I can tell you that right now. I mean, India would make sense if they had a lot of slaves, but they don't beat China. China is a communist state. They literally beat and rape their people to death for like the stupidest shit, and they hide it from the public. Fucking crazy motherfuckers. There's no way China only has 5.8 million, 6.8 million. When that region of the to the west is like fucking 30 million. That should be an easy 30 million alone. And everywhere else is still like high risk, so I'll continue.
Of American politics is this is not the kind of history that we need to be making. What we're witnessing is truly the end of the Democratic Party as we've known it. And even some Democrats are now saying that out loud. You can see it in their interviews. I watched one last night. All this is directly related to the Democrats' shutdown show. Why? Because just like they decided to save their own skin, that they had to endorse the Marxist Mandami in an unprecedented move, they have also decided they had to shut down the government in an unprecedented move. No matter the pain it inflicts upon hardworking American people, they were simply more afraid of the Marxists in their party than they are of voters. For the sake of our country, we pray that their calculation is wrong. We believe it is dead wrong. And as much as they try to obscure it, as much as they try to distract it, as much as they try to censor it, we pray that their calculation is wrong. We believe it is dead wrong. And as much American people, they were simply more afraid of the Marxists in their party than they are of voters. For the sake of our country, we pray that their calculation is wrong. We believe it is dead wrong. And as much as they try to obscure it, as much as they try to distract you, as much as they try to say that it's about any other issue under the sun, all those issues were always scheduled to be decided. Healthcare, the expiring Obamacare subsidies, the NDAA, the appropriations, all these other things, it was always on the calendar for Republicans and Democrats to hash it out in October, November, and December. This is not a surprise to Republicans. It's not a surprise to Democrats, and they all know it. That is the only thing they could grasp onto to try to give some sort of argument, to try to give cover for the fact that they're running from the far left base of their party. Facts are facts.
Facts are facts. And that actually does make a lot of sense too. No wonder why they're fucking finalizing this shit. They all pushing the end of the Democrat Party. You see, back in the 1800s, we fought the Civil War, okay? And there were a lot of reasons that Abraham Lincoln made the Republican Party and went against the Democrats. And one of them was slavery. But there were a lot of other reasons. And a good chunk of those reasons had to do with money and taxes. Stop calling the chair. And these guys are really screwing for minds here. And the CSA also made good deals with the British, who was all enemy at the time.
Okay.
Immediately a freaking
Facts are facts. And the ball is fully in the court of the Senate Democrats now. Who are they going to respond to? The American people, I think hardworking American families need to be a little more vocal. I think they need to call some of these Senate offices and tell them to stop the games. They need to know they should fear the American people worse than the Marxists who are trying to take over their party. And my friends, that is exactly what is going on right here. Now, I want to zoom in because we have a special guest and just focus on a group of men and women who are seeing the impact of this shutdown in their bottom line every single day. And that is of America's small business owners. See, small businesses are the largest employers in our country. But unlike Washington Democrats, they don't have the luxury to wait out this shutdown. For many of them, federal contracts have been frozen, SBA loans and support have dried up, and business has dropped off due to uncertainty in the markets. A survey of small business owners across the country found that for the 1 in 5 small business owners who rely on government contracts, this shutdown is forcing them to pull back on their investments. And what are those investments? It's new hires, new jobs. It's supplies and services. They have to pull back on those things so that they can make payroll work, so they can keep their employees employed. One business in Raleigh, North Carolina that relies on federal environmental approval said this, quote, "The backlog that is generated by the shutdown will last long beyond today." Another business in Georgia, Ms. Loeffler's home state, specializes in home repairs, added, quote, "When livelihoods are affected in such a manner, home repairs and projects get delayed if not canceled. A government shutdown is a threat to us all." For American businesses that rely on loans from the SBA, each day means crucial dollars lost, and that affects every American at the end of the day. Small businesses across the country are being forced to go without roughly $170 million in SBA-backed loans each day, and that adds up to $4.5 billion in blocked loans just over the course of this shutdown so far. So while Chuck Schumer says that every day gets better for his party, every day is getting much, much harder for the people who are keeping the lights on around the country. To share more about what small businesses are experiencing firsthand, we are really delighted to join and welcoming this morning the administrator of the U.S. Small Business Administration, Kelly Loeffler. Kelly, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you so much. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
So this is
Thank you, Speaker Johnson, and the leadership gathered here. And I want to thank
GOP
to start
leader
out by thanking you all on behalf of America's 36 million
Kelly.
small businesses for passing a clean funding bill to keep the government open, and for passing the largest working family tax cut in American history, saving taxpayers a $4 trillion tax hike that Senate Democrats voted for, congressional Democrats supported. Now, that tax cut is a big reason why we've seen a historic comeback for our nation's economy under the leadership of President Trump and congressional Republicans. Prior to the Democrat shutdown, the data was very clear. Small business optimism was at 7-year highs. Wage growth was outpacing inflation for the first time in 4 years.
I don't know what SBA is. I'm gonna look that up. SBA. By the way, I literally GBT'd if there was a single Democrat that voted for the for the shutdown to be shut down, and it brought up 2 guys. It was a Mike and a Matt. I don't know, but they were for different situations. So yeah, GBT told me, oh well, these 2 did. But then I said when, and it was like, oh, 2019, and then I think March this year. Okay, well, that was back then. Okay, what was I looking up again, damn it? Oh, yeah. SBA. Small Business Administration. Why did I think about that? I'm so dumb. Yep. Senate Democrats voted to block a clean federal funding bill, leading the government to shut down preventing U.S. small businesses. Yeah, there we go. Clean federal funding bill. Oh, shit. I need to eat something soon. Every day that Senate Democrats continue to oppose a clean funding bill, they are estimated they are just, they are stopping an estimated 320 small businesses from accessing $170 million in SBA guaranteed funding. As a result of the shutdown, we wanted to notify you that many of our services supporting small businesses are currently unavailable. The agency is executing its lapse plan as soon as the shutdown is over, we are prepared to immediately return to the record-breaking services we were providing under the leadership of the Trump administration. See, there's a disaster happening. There's a hurricane coming down that's gonna get ready to hit Florida here. It destroyed Jamaica. Probably won't be too bad when it hits there, but these guys have to deal with disasters too. I'm gonna look this up then. Let's look this up. So it was introduced and passed the House but failed the Senate. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, this is the bill right here that they got pissed off about. So, this bill provides continuing FY 2026 appropriations for federal agencies, provides additional funding for security for federal officials, and extends various expiring programs and authorities. Significantly, the bill continues FY 2026 appropriations to federal agencies through the earlier of November 2025 of the enactment of the Application of Appropriations Act. Wait, so is this the... Oh, hey, Dogfire. You saw the title. I've been talking about this for 50 minutes. I've been listening to Mike Johnson for a while. Actually, no. What this is... This is the thing. What this is supposed to do is... This is what was to keep this stuff from expiring. So the Medicare, Medicaid, the U.S. Grain Standards Act, whatever this shit is, Development Agricultural Livestock, Mandatory Price Reporting Program, several DHS programs related to cybersecurity. So that's what that is.
There is one summary for HR 5371. Bill summaries are authored by CRS. Shown here, introduced in House, September 16, 2025. Continuing Appropriations and Extensions Act, 2026. This bill provides continuing FY 2026 appropriations for federal agencies, provides additional funding for security for federal officials, and extends various expiring programs and authorities. Specifically, the bill provides continuing FY 2026 appropriations to federal agencies through the earlier of November 21, 2025, or the enactment of the applicable Appropriations Act. It is known as a continuing resolution, CR, and prevents a government shutdown that would otherwise occur if the FY 2026 appropriations bills have not been enacted when FY 2026 begins on October 1, 2025. The CR funds most programs and activities at the FY 2025 levels, with several exceptions that provide funding flexibility and additional appropriations for various programs. For example, the CR provides additional funding for security for members of Congress, Supreme Court justices, and executive branch officials. It also authorizes the District of Columbia to spend local funds at the rates included in its FY 2026 local budget. In addition, The bill extends several expiring programs and authorities, including several public health, Medicare, and Medicaid authorities and programs. Various programs and authorities related to veterans. The U.S. Grain Standards Act. The Department of Agriculture Livestock Mandatory
So
Price Reporting
October
Program.
1st, too.
Several Department of Homeland Security, DHS, programs related to cybersecurity. Authorities for DHS and the Department of Justice to take actions to mitigate a credible threat from an unmanned aircraft system. The special assessment on non-indigent persons or entities convicted of certain offenses involving sexual abuse or human trafficking. Authorities related to the Commodity Futures Trading Commission Whistleblower Program. And the Defense Production Act of 1950.
Yeah, so let me read that October 1st, Paul. If events of government shutdown that would otherwise occur if not an act. So they vote. So they didn't want that. Obviously, that's what shuts that down. GovFacts.gov. Let's see. Hakeem Jeffries, I don't even know who the hell this guy is. Well, obviously he's part of the Senate, and then Chuck Schumer, yep. The fight appears to be about a funding bill and a healthcare policy. Yep, the ones that I just looked at. So Democrats refuse to fund the government unless the Republicans extend expiring Affordable Care Act. Except decides. Has reversed recent Medicare cuts. When the fuck do Republicans do that? Republicans say Democrats are holding the government hostage over unrelated demands, and they want a clean funding bill first for policy debates later. Well, first off, I don't even know where are they hearing this? Where did they hear? Where the fuck did this come from? They're cutting Medicaid. Actually, this one guy fucking said, this one fucking dickweed on a Discord server said something like that about they wanted to cut Medicaid. Are they talking about either the Democrats are just saying the shit out of their ass, or they're twisting what Trump said from, we're going to take this away from people who just don't want to work because they're lazy morons and whatever, or they're illegal immigrants, to we're just going to take it away altogether. Because they were the ones that voted for it to be shut down. So this first off, the clean label. So one of the things this does, it does enhance security for federal officers across all three branches, which was added following the killing of a conservative activist. I think we know which one that is. And it does extend several expiring health and veteran programs. Okay, why am I even reading this? This is clearly a load of shit because it's just both sides saying it's just both. This just says that both parties are saying that we want to fucking that this party over here is fucking is just throwing like both parties are just pointing the finger at pointing what's the quote they don't want the bill of helping people who can't afford health get health bill. They're pointing that finger at like each other. That's not what's happening. Like, the only one that's doing that is the Democrat Party, who's lying their ass off. When in reality, it's the Democrat Party, unless you consider illegal immigrants and the lazy fucks as actual fucking strugglers. Okay, I almost feel like this was made via ChatGPT, and what doesn't help is that there's literally a fucking ad for ChatGPT. Phones on the charger is kind of hard to see. See, here we go. Now they're definitely lying out of their ass. They're using the shutdown as a tool. The Trump administration views the shutdown as a strategic opportunity. Who the fuck said that shit? Yeah, see, this is a load of bullshit. Now they're just lying. See, that's clearly just fucking lying. That is a load of shit.
Time in 4 years. GDP growth was 3.8%. Deregulation, energy dominance, and fair trade were finally back. For the first time in years, America's small businesses felt the wind in their sails. They were taking on new capital to hire, expand, and invest. Now that confidence manifested itself at the SBA through a historic demand for capital exceeding $100 billion for the first time in the agency's 72-year history under President Trump's leadership. That includes $45 billion, a record $45 billion in SBA loans to 85,000 small businesses in fiscal 2025, the most ever approved by this agency, thanks to confidence in the Trump economy. But today, 27 days later, as the speaker said, Senate Democrats have intentionally put that momentum at risk. The SBA's loan guarantee programs have been halted, and Main Street's capital has been choked off because Senate Democrats are playing politics with lives and livelihoods. They're demanding $1.5 trillion in taxpayer money to fund health care for illegal aliens and other liberal causes. Their spin is fact-free. They want to subsidize their broken, fraudulent, and unaffordable healthcare system, where premiums have increased by 80% since 2014, and those are the enormous costs that are borne on the shoulders of small businesses. But the pain is the point. Every single day of this shutdown has stopped 320 local businesses every single day from accessing $170 million in SBA loans for hiring and for expansion. Now, in Chuck Schumer's own state, that is $40 million every single week. In my home state of Georgia, Senator Ossoff and Senator Warnock shutting down $35 million in Main Street capital every single week. So on day 27, all of that adds up to 6,000 small business loans that have been prevented from receiving upwards of $4 billion in Main Street lending. And it's not just the flow of capital that it's been cut off, as the speaker said. It's small businesses that rely on federal contracts. Thousands of them across the country have received stop work orders. Thousands more who rely on federal workers as their customers are seeing their revenue dry up. Here in Washington, of course, but around our military communities, around main streets across America. It's our storefronts that are cutting back hours, manufacturers that are shelving expansion plans, and generational businesses that are closing their doors for good. It's business that they will never get back. Thousands of painful stories like these are playing out, and that's what Democrats are talking about when they say they now have leverage. Now, America's small businesses make up 99% of all of our nation's businesses. They create 2 out of every 3 new jobs, and they make up about half of our GDP. So when the CEA estimates that every week of the Democrat shutdown, it shrinks the U.S. economy by $15 billion. That cost is borne by Main Street. When they estimate that Senate Democrat shutdown will cost our economy 43,000 jobs, those jobs are at local businesses. All because Senator Schumer and his caucus are willing to sacrifice Main Street so that they can derail President Trump's historic economic agenda and appease the socialist radicals who are now in charge of the Democrat Party. It's why I'm so proud to stand here with Speaker Johnson, Chairman Williams, and the entire House leadership team, because we are united behind Main Street, our military, and those who rely on critical federal services. It's time for Chuck Schumer to end the political stunt, pass a clean funding bill, open the government, stop putting illegal aliens and the Marxist socialist demands of your radical base over small businesses back home. We must bring the same common sense that prevails on Main Street back to Washington. I'll now turn it over to my good friend and chairman of the Small Business Committee, Roger Williams, from the great state of Texas.
Another ad. I'm not gonna lie.
Of this,
I'm gonna end the stream here because yeah, what's good as my fanboy? You're a little late, but I'm gonna go now. So please subscribe, comment, like, toast for looking summer class. I'll watch more of that later. I think I know what I need to know at this point, but I gotta go eat. So see you guys later. Bye, everybody.